we're in a completely different room in my house for the second time. I think you guys have seen my back room before. This is my guest room, and I decided to do this video in here today because I am doing my first tag video, and I am doing the British tag. I have my lovely homage to London behind me. You guys probably realise that I'm from the UK, and I actually live in the US now. I've lived in the US for almost 8 years. In Phoenix, Arizona, which is the middle of the desert, the hottest place on earth, and pretty much the most opposite to my homeland as possibly could be. So I wanted to do this British tag because I thought it would be a really fitting tag to do, even though I moved from the UK like, I think I was 22 or 23 years old, so I did spend the majority of my growing up youth years in England. I grew up in Birmingham, which is in the Midlands. It's not a particularly nice place, but it's not awful either. I do miss it. And I would consider myself to be a very British person. So I'm going to do this British tag. There is 12 questions and I'm going to answer them as best I can. And hopefully you guys will think it's entertaining. So one of the things that you have to do with this is you have to drink a cup of tea whilst you're doing the tag. So I'm kind of cheating because I didn't have any milk. I have like a fruit tea, like a berry tea, instead of my regular PG Tips, which is what I would usually drink. And the first question is, how many cups of tea do you have a day and how many sugars? Well, for about the first 5 years of living in the US, I was adamant I was going to carry on being as British as possible, and I hunted down tea, and I would have a tea every morning. It was like my morning regime was to drink a cup of tea, and that would get me set for the day. So I would have PG Tips with 2 sugars and lots of milk. They call it builder's tea. And then I turned 30 years old. And I was like, it's time to grow up and it's time to drink coffee. You live in America, you're practically American. It's been long enough now. So I introduced coffee into my diet. It was last year when not December just passed, but the December before that when I turned 30. And I tried coffee and became instantly addicted. So now I pretty much drink coffee all the time unless I'm sick, and that's when the fruity tea comes in. And I guess whenever I'm feeling a little bit homesick, or if I go home and visit back to the UK, then I will drink tea the whole time I'm there, because usually I'm with my friends and family, and that's all British people drink. The second question, your favourite part of your roast. I love the good traditional British roast dinner, and it's one of those things that I'm definitely trying to keep around for my kids. So I always, whenever there's a holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas, I always try and make a good traditional British roast dinner. My favourite part is probably roast potatoes, good crispy on the outside, fluffy in the middle kind of roast potatoes. And then I go to, there's a grocery store out here called Fresh and Easy, and they sell Bisto, which is a type of English gravy. So I always had that out, and I always have some Bisto gravy in my cupboard to add to my roast dinner. So it definitely wouldn't be the same without that. Question number 3, your favourite dunking biscuits. Biscuits are so funny because out here you don't get biscuits, you get cookies, and biscuits here are like scones, I guess, which is like a little round kind of like bready type thing. So biscuits and cookies are very different, and I guess you don't realise until you come over to America that biscuits, our traditional UK biscuits, don't exist out here. Again, Fresh and Easy have this amazing British section in their grocery store where you can get hobnobs and all kinds of awesome English biscuits. So, oh, and the question, your favourite, I'm rambling. My favourite British biscuit would probably be Bourbon creams, the little chocolate square ones. Those that were just my favourite growing up, and it's definitely something that I can't get out here, that when I do visit the UK, I'll eat lots of them. If they're on a plate and there's many different biscuits, my hand will always go straight to the Bourbon cream. As far as dunking it, I've never dunked biscuits in tea. I always thought it was kind of gross, so when it breaks down then you end up with bits of biscuit on the bottom of your cup. So I was never a dunker, but I would definitely have a biscuit on the side. Your favourite quintessentially British pastime? Probably going to the fish and chip shop. It's something that I really miss, and there's no English fish and chip shops in the US. Once in a while I'll see a sign like British fish and chips, and it just never is. It's never the same. So I really miss just going, getting a bag of chips and as gross as it sounds, a pickled egg, which is absolutely delicious. Have one of those on top, loads of salt and vinegar, and then just wander down the street eating your chips, looking in the shop windows. That's definitely something quintessentially British that I really miss. Your favourite word? My favourite British word would be rubbish, and I still use it every day, and people always pull me up on it because it's something that Americans do not use at all. When you say, you know, I say something is rubbish, like it's lame, it's not cool. What else is a good British word? The bin, I like to say that instead of trash. I'll put stuff in the bin, or I'll tell my kids to go put it in the bin. And I mean my kids are obviously American, but I'm trying to just give them a few little British mannerisms to grow up with, so they have a little bit of Brit in them too. Cockney Rhyming slang. I didn't grow up in London, so I don't really know a lot about Cockney Rhyming slang. I remember as a kid, my dad always used to say, when it was bedtime, get up the apples and pears, which means stairs. And your #1 British person. One of my most favourite people in the whole world growing up was Rick Mail, who is an English comedian who is probably most famous for The Young Ones and Bottom, and there was a movie called Drop Dead Fred that you guys might have watched, and I don't know, because growing up I just thought he was the funniest guy on earth. And he's actually from the same town that I grew up in, Redditch, which is kind of cool. So I think he passed away like a year or two ago. It was about a year ago, and I ended up getting a tattoo in remembrance of him. And then my favourite British person that's living is Jonathan Ross. He's another comedian, I guess. He is well known for, he has like a chat show, and he's just absolutely hilarious and a little bit dirty, and I guess he's kind of like one of my weird, like, embarrassing crushes. If I wanted some kind of older man father figure to date, I would totally go for Jonathan Ross. Okay, my favourite shop or restaurant. It's kind of a tough one because I haven't lived in England for a really long time, and so I know a lot's probably changed. And I'm like so Americanized now that it's hard for me to even focus on what I loved growing up, which I don't think is around anymore. It was called Woolworths, so we called it Woolies, and it was basically like a place where you could kind of get everything. And I used to love it because they had like the most amazing pickle mix section, which is like all these different sweets, like candies, and you could go and just fill a bag and then go weigh it and buy it and then leave. And then my favourite restaurant, Pizza Hut. Is again probably not particularly British, but I just used to love going and getting the Pizza Hut buffet and just eating like as much pizza as possible. My 5-year-old child has decided to creep into the room, in case you're wondering what is going crazy under the blanket. That's Oliver. I also love all of the British cafes, bakeries. That's something that I hugely miss, because you can't just go somewhere, especially not in Arizona, and just go buy like an iced finger or like a nice cake. You're kind of, I don't know, they just don't really have them here. What British song pops into your head? Spice Girls, Wannabe is an incredibly British song. Anything Spice Girls, honestly, I just think is hugely British, and just is my era, I guess. When I was in school, in middle school, I remember knowing all the different dance moves to many Spice Girls songs, and the movie's hilarious too, and incredibly British. And then the last question is, it's not really a question, it's just Marmite, the statement, Marmite. I think Marmite's amazing. I love when I can find Marmite out here. I always buy it because a bit of Marmite on some hot toast is amazing. I remember when I was a kid, we used to have Bovril. Don't know if anyone ever remembers that, but there was like a hot drink. It was made of like beef stock or something gross. And then Marmite came along, which is vegetarian. I was vegetarian growing up. Up until like a year ago, I was vegetarian. So if you're British and you don't like Marmite, I think there's kind of something wrong with you. I feel like I judge you for it. If you're an American and don't like Marmite, then you're just an American because they don't understand. Thank you for watching. I hope it was interesting, me babbling on about growing up and being British and not being in Britain anymore. Hi. This is my son. He's half British, aren't you? Yeah? He's been to England, and did you like England? What was your favourite thing about England?
My favourite part was the pool.
The pool? Yeah, there was a pool, and there's not many pools in England. It was cold though, wasn't it?
Yep.
But how cold it was?
Yeah, and there was ice over it.
It was icy? It wasn't icy. It was July. It wasn't icy. It was just cold, because it's always cold in England. So thank you for watching my British tag, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you wanted me to do any more tag videos, let me know, because I'm kind of new to this and I've never done the whole tag thing before. Do you like tea? No, see, he's not British. You don't like tea? No? What's your favourite drink?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk? See, he's so American. Well, I love you. Have a kiss? Oh, a hug. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you liked the video, and if you didn't, you don't have to. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.